We now have more information about the team-based operations missions that will be launching on the 30th of June. If you've never done much on foot combat, will you be ready? Do you know the difference between upgrading and engineering for suits and weapons? Do you know the difference between goods, assets and data, and which ones can be traded or sold? If you're completely clueless, perhaps we can help.
Before we start looking at upgrading and modifying, let's start with a quick recap of what we know about operations. Operations missions will be managed by Frontline Solutions, who'll provide an Operation Runner megaship to get you and your equipment to the location of the incident. The missions are designed for teams of between 2 and 4 commanders, and only commanders, so you can't hire crew to fill in the gaps in your team. You may be able to solo some of them, but it won't be easy, so it's probably best to make at least one friend you can work with. As long as you can dock somewhere with a market, you can join in on a mission. No matter how far away you are, at the point when you sign up, you can also choose from any of your ships no matter where they're docked, and you'll have access to all your on-foot loadouts from the Operation Runner megaship at any time during the mission. If your ship is destroyed or you lose consciousness while on a mission, you will be returned to the Operation Runner or to your ship, whichever's closer. For immediate redeployment, there is no penalty for being redeployed during a mission. If you're successful in completing operations missions, you will be rewarded with credits, a new currency called Mercoin, and materials. The Mercoin can be used to purchase unique ship modules and blueprints, and engineering modifications for the gear, which you can purchase in the usual places, outfitting and engineers respectively.
There will be 6 mission types initially, with a somewhat basic roadmap suggesting there will be more in the future. Terminal prosecution requires at least 2 team members and is about eliminating criminals from the system and involves in-ship and on-foot combat. Tactical takedown requires 3 team members. It involves boarding a megaship, gaining access to flight records, then paying a visit to the home base of the general responsible to explain to them the error of their ways. Reclamation point needs at least 2 team members. You'll need to eliminate hostile ships around the megaship and the pirate crew of the megaship itself to restore it to its rightful owner. Rapid response requires at least 3 team members. You'll need to evacuate a planetary port before a hostile fleet arrives. Firestorm Rescue requires 3 team members and is in-ship only. You need to break your way into a burning starport and evacuate hostages. In Biohazard Takedown, 2 or more team members need to board a megaship, find some rogue researchers who have been developing a dangerous weapon, and eliminate them. Note that most of these missions require some level of on-foot engineering, and that might be a problem if you've never felt the need to engineer your on-foot equipment before.
So, how do you go about getting set up for on-foot operations? The Galnet News Digest team went through the process of learning how to get suits and weapons upgraded and modified earlier this year, so we can share some very basic pointers for absolute beginners. You buy your suits and weapons from Pioneer Supplies in the concourse of most starports and outposts. Other than the default flight suit, there are 3 types of spacesuit, one of which, the Artemis, is only suitable for exploration. The other 2 are the Dominator, which is the fighting suit, with up to 2 primary weapons and a sidearm, and the scavenging and breaking into things Maverick suit, which includes a thermal cutting device, the Arc Cutter. The Maverick is the most flexible suit, but the Dominator is significantly superior in a firefight. These suits normally come as Grade 1, although you may be lucky and find a Grade 2 or a Grade 3 suit for sale, sometimes including engineering. Be careful though. You can't remove engineering modifications, and you may not want the modification that's on offer.
Upgrading a suit does two things. It improves the performance of the suit, and it creates up to 4 slots for applying engineering modifications. The highest grade is grade 5, and with a little effort to gather materials it's perfectly achievable, and ideally what you should be aiming for operations. You should absolutely be using the ED Odyssey Materials Helper to guide you through this process. Without it, space can be a very lonely place. If you're a power agent for any of the 12 power play powers, you probably already have a decent stock of materials, but if not, completing delivery and retrieval missions is a relatively safe way to start your collection. You can filter by materials when choosing the mission. Our initial misconception was that suit upgrades came from engineers. They don't. The wise guy behind the counter of Pioneer Supplies has a not very obvious option to apply upgrades to suits and weapons, and it is there you should go. If you don't have all the materials you need, you'll either need to trade some of what you do have at the bartender, or head out on a mission to earn some.
Materials come in 3 flavours: goods, assets and data. Goods include things like Thargoid Spirorefinery Compound and Radicoida Unica seeds, as well as power regulators that you may or may not acquire a small collection of. Most of these are not used for engineering, you can sell them to the bartender. Assets have 3 subcategories: chemical, circuit and tech. Some of the assets are used in engineering, while others are only good for trading. Your bartender is like 3 material traders rolled into one, and will allow you to trade for the ones you need within each subcategory. Data is used for upgrades and engineering. Any unwanted data can be sold to the bartender, but like goods, it cannot be traded. Note that any data with the word power in the name is special data that's used for power play, and it's not used for upgrading suits or for engineering.
Weapons come in 3 types: kinetic, laser and plasma, made respectively by the Kinematic, Takada and Manticore corporations. Kinetic weapons are best when your opponent's shield is already down, while laser weapons are good at shield stripping. Plasma weapons are an all-rounder, although they're often considered inferior. Like suits, they can be upgraded to grade 5, which offers better performance and the 4 engineering slots. You probably want to carry a balance of kinetic and laser weapons, or go for plasma. For a Maverick suit, which has only 1 primary weapon, a Karma AR-50 for accuracy, or a Karma C-44 for spraying bullets in a wide cone would be well balanced with a laser sidearm, such as the TK Zenith, which is great at stripping shields. Or, if you want to pack a shield-stripping sniper rifle, such as the TK Aphelion, the Manticore Tormentor makes a great plasma sidearm. Dominator suits have an extra primary weapon slot, so you have much more flexibility for that rocket launcher you've been eyeing.
So, you've got your suits and weapons. You need to make these into loadouts by matching suits with a selection of weapons and giving the loadout a meaningful name. Then you can easily switch between the loadouts in your ship, SRV or at the terminals in a starport concourse. The next step is engineering.
Before you can do any engineering, you need to start unlocking on-foot engineers. If you're in the bubble, your first stop will be Domino Green at the Jackrabbit in Mauritius. Rather bizarrely, she'll only help you if you've clocked up 100 light-years of travel in Apex interstellar shuttles. These shuttles are a humorous way of travelling around the galaxy. The fleet of Adders do not have supercruise overcharge, so it takes ages to get anywhere, especially as the pilots seem to get confused if there's a planet in the way. Whatever you do, don't book an Apex flight to Hutton Orbital. Domino Green offers advanced tracking, a useful suit modification, as well as a couple of handy weapon modifications, greater range and stability. If you can supply her with a favourite type of popping candy, she will open up about the whereabouts of the elusive Kit Fowler, who can offer extra ammo capacity, faster shield regeneration, and increased magazine size. There's a total of 9 engineers to unlock in the bubble, and 4 in Colonia who offer the same engineering mods. It's actually a lot of fun learning how to get your hands on all the materials the engineers need. One thing you need to accept is that you may be entirely law-abiding when flying your spaceship, but you're going to have to break the law. Or at least commit a number of acts of legally sanctioned violence to advance your cause on foot. Is when you've spent the last 3 hours massacring the entire population of several settlements in Colonia just to collect a sheaf of cocktail recipes that you realise you have passed your Breaking Bad moment.
You'll only have access to all the engineering options when you've unlocked all the bubble or all the Colonia engineers. Some modifications are more useful than others. Suit modifications worth considering include: extra ammo capacity means that you carry more clips of ammo for all the weapons in your loadout. Faster shield regen does what it says. If your shield drops, this modification will help it come back up quicker. Enhanced tracking increases the range and speed of the suit's scan function, so you can see immediately who you're targeting. Night vision adds night vision similar to the ship's night vision to the suit. This is better than the torch for working in dark environments. Quieter footsteps dampens the sound generated by suit steps. Think rubber soles. Improved jump assist. You can jump higher and for longer, and it doesn't take as long before you can jump again.
Some of the weapons modifications that might be useful are audio masking, makes the weapon quieter in unpressurised environments, i.e. outside. Noise suppressor makes the weapon quieter in pressurised environments, indoors. Magazine size, you get more shots before you have to reload. Scope. This modification adds or improves the weapon's scope. Clicking the right mouse lets you aim using the scope. Reload speed gives a quicker reload time once a clip's been emptied. Faster handling offers a faster draw and stow speed and how quickly you can aim down the scope. Greater range increases the weapon's effective range. Headshot damage increases damage caused by headshots, which is best achieved using the scope.
Unlike ship engineering, there are no grades. Your suit or weapon either has the engineering modification or it hasn't. It's the suit or the weapon itself that can be upgraded to grade 5, and that's by Pioneer Supplies, not the engineers. Essential tools for all this work include the ED Odyssey Materials Helper and the late Commander Quizengine's excellent guide to Odyssey settlements, the downloadable Odyssey Material Gathering web pages, which has a map of each settlement type and the locations of key features. So, with a bit of effort, by the time Frontline Solutions start offering operations missions, you'll have all the gear you need to make relatively easy work of the on-foot mission types.
Operations is due to launch on 30th of June or shortly after.
Farewell for now, Commander.